Good evening and welcome to another exciting edition of high school basketball with the Bethany Christian Bruins. Tonight, from Buller Court on the campus of Bethany Christian Schools in Goshen, Indiana, it's the 1A number 9 Bruins at 12-5 overall, 3-1 in the Hoosier Plains Conference, a league they could win as early as next week with some help, by taking on the Cougars of Central Noble High School, coming over from, stunningly enough, Central Noble County. They are on leave from their hometown of Albion, and they are 11-5 overall, 5-2 in the Northeast Corner Conference. Good evening, everybody, and welcome inside the gymnasium. I'm Tony Miller in the catbird seat, high above the east end zone, looking out from the mezzanine, where we're getting ready for a non-conference showdown between two teams that are each trying to avoid their 6th loss of the year. They're both bouncing back after losses last week. Bethany gave up 28 points to Elkhart Christian senior Aiden Hibbard and lost 44-41 in an HPC showdown on Thursday. Bounced back and played well enough to win, but not a whole lot better than that in a 51-36 win over in Hamlet, against Oregon Davis on Friday. Central Noble lost Tuesday night. They went down to Fort Wayne and took one on the chin from the Concordia Cadets. That game was 61-54. They bounced back with a return to Albion on Friday when they had some fun at the expense of Churubusco, scoring a season-high 79 points, giving up a season-low 32. That's a recipe for a win, and that's what they've got. John Bodie, 127-47 in his 7th year at Central Noble. Last year, he took the Cougars to the 2A championship game. Of course, he had the services of Connor Asijan at the time, and Connor is now being all studly as a 6th man up at the University of Wisconsin in the Big Ten. Dan Mast in his 4th season at Bethany Christian. He'll pick up his 40th win or his 50th loss tonight, one way or the other, because there are only those two options. We'll get those started here in about 2.5 minutes on BruinsVision. Of course, there aren't a whole lot of secrets at this point in the season other than Central Noble season stats. So I think both of these teams have a pretty good idea of what they're going up against. It's a Central Noble ball club that's got a lot of size to speak of. They bring in, there are 11 guys on their varsity roster, and 4 of them have heights that start with a 5. Sam Asijan, a junior, is 6'6". Isaiah Gard, a junior, is 6'4". Landon Weiss, a senior, 6'2". The rest of the 4 other players at 6 foot or 6'1". The Bruins a little bit smaller than that, though they go 6'5", 6'3", 6'3", with Kyle Boyer, Jacoby Reinhardt, and Justin Hostetler. It's a much more guard-oriented offense for the Bruins, and I'm a little bit concerned from a Bethany standpoint about the amount of length that Central Noble will have on display tonight. The Bruin offense very much running through junior Tyson Chupp, the junior point guard, 2-guard, do-whatever guard, comes in averaging 18.4 points per game. Right now he's tied for the 4th most 3-point field goals in Bethany Christian history with 117. He needs 18 more to tie Beck Willems, who graduated last year and holds the all-time record. He's an 86% shooter at the free throw line and a 42% shooter from long range, and he leads the team with 61 assists, which means the ball's in his hands a lot. The Bruins will come out in a usual starting 5 tonight. Chupp with Carter Miller and Jaden Schleybaugh in backcourt. But that's 6 foot 5'10" and 5'9" against the Central Noble lineup. That, as we mentioned, is 63% 6 foot or taller. Jacoby Reinhardt, 6'3" in the front court, a 76% shooter from the free throw line. Justin Hostetler, 6'3" and by far the largest man on the team horizontally. He comes in at 3.6 points and 3 rebounds a game as you hear the music stop and the teams go back to their benches. We're going to get some preliminary pregame announcements. The spotlight is ready. The lights are still on, so the spotlight wouldn't do a whole lot of good at the moment, now would it? But we'll get that going as the Bruins come on out onto the floor for their starting lineup. Before we can get to that, though, we want to remind you that we are back here for all 3 remaining Bruins home games on BruinsVision. 5:58 JV pregame show, varsity tip-off about 7:20, let's say. That's next Tuesday night against Fairfield, the following Tuesday night, the 14th, against Jimtown, and Friday the 24th against Fremont. Now the teams are on the floor, and we are going to get ready for our starters to be announced. We've got the Bruins starting 5, but not the Cougar starting 5. Okay, there's the beginning of that list. I've got to flip the scorebook over here, and that's always fun. Drew Plyatt, Sam Asijan, Jackson Andrews, Connor Lemon, and Isaiah Gard round out the starting lineup for John Bodie, who is in his, again, 7th season at the helm of Central Noble. The Bruins will go a little bit more complicated than that, just in the sense that it's 5 juniors in the starting lineup. Tyson Schupp, 6-foot junior, 18.4 points per game. Carter Miller, a 5'10 junior, 5.9 points per game. Jaden Schleybaugh, 7.8, is third on the team, a 5'9 junior. Jacoby Reinhardt, a 6'3 sophomore, 32 points per game. Uniform number 32, 9.6 points per game. If he went off for 32, I don't think anybody would complain. That'd be a lot. And Justin Hostetler rounds out the starting lineup. He is at 3.6 points per game. He's listed at 6'3 as a junior. And we're going to shut that flashlight off. And we will move some things around and get ready to go in the broadcast booth as Central Noble gets ready to take on Bethany Christian in a non-conference matchup tonight on Buller Court. I'm going to make sure the chair's actually there before I sit down on it. Okay, we're good to go. Central Noble in the traveling maroon uniforms. They'll go in white numerals from right to left on your streaming device. Bethany Christian in the home whites, blue numerals. They go right to left in the first half. Ball in the air. Reinhardt goes up for the tip against Gard. Central Noble wins the tap, which goes over to the left side corner. Sam Asijan brought it down over there. This is Connor Lemon right of the circle. Asijan's got it back left side slot. Hands off to Dan Plyatt, who goes down the left side of the lane. Pass into the corner, picked off by Carter Miller. That's one possession and one defensive turnover for the Bruins, who struggled with some giveaways when they try to do too much on offense Thursday night in that loss to Elkhart Christian. There's a turnover. The steal goes to Jackson Andrews. He runs out and lays it in. Central Noble with the first points of the ball game, and it's 2-0 Cougars. Bruins get the ball back as they never really were able to get something started on that possession. It was up at the top of the circle where Andrews got the steal. Schupp's got the ball back there. Here's Miller in the left side wing. Carter bounce passes to Justin Hostetler. Handoff Schleybaugh down the left side of the lane. Miller comes back from the left side wing. In the free throw circle, goes into the corner. This is Schleybaugh bringing the ball back out and giving it to Hostetler right side wing. Justin takes 3 dribbles to his left, back to Chupp, who needs 13 points to get to 900 for his career with at least 6 games left in his junior season. Carter Miller skips the ball to Reinhardt. The ball hits him in the face and bounces away. Rebound, or Asijan on the steal that was very much a rebound, and he's got a quick 2 for Central Noble, which has 2 turnovers and 2 buckets at the other end. Bruins get the ball into the forecourt. Miller around the defender. Here's Reinhardt making a run down the lane. Back out to Schleybaugh, left side wing. He comes downhill, throws it up as he's fouled, and we've got a personal foul called on Central Noble with 6:31 to go for first quarter. Isaiah Gard picks up his first personal. Team foul number 1 on the Cougars. We'll stop and retie a shoe here. Well, we won't. Drew Plyatt will. And we're going to get the Bruins going to the bench for a substitution as Reinhardt had that whole basketball face interaction on the last possession. He's going to come out and get looked at by nurse Jeff Vardaman. James Lind making an unplanned early appearance for the Bruins as Schleybaugh goes to the line for 2 free throws. First free throw on the way is up and good. I'm going to be honest, I can't say I've ever been hit in the face with a basketball, but that doesn't sound pleasant. One more free throw forthcoming for Schleybaugh, who has started every game but one when he was ill for the Bruins. Started most of the games, at least last year as well, and that was as a sophomore. Schleybaugh drops in both free throws. 4-2 Central Noble. 94 seconds gone first quarter. At the top of the circle for Central Noble, it's Lemon working to the right. Number 12 is Jackson Andrews. He goes down to the corner. Bounce pass underneath the guard. Number 33 with the floppy haircut. Bounce pass into the lane, and Asijan's shot rolls over the front iron. Asijan's got the last 4 for Central Noble. They're on a 6-2 lead as Miller gets the ball in through the offensive pressure of the Cougars. Lind bounce passes it back to Miller. Chupp right slot three, good. That's a silver point for Tyson Chupp. That passed point number 4 on the running score from number 4 in the white uniform, but it didn't land on number 4 because it was a 3 and the Bruins are at 5. 6-5 the score. Guard is double teamed down along the baseline. Schleybaugh just about knocked the ball free. Instead it comes out to Lemon, who drains a 3 from the right side wing. Lemon was in mint condition as the Bruins get the ball in, and they trail by the title of Dolly Parton's 1980 single 9-5. Chupp threw the ball over to the left side wing. They were looking for Hostetler, and the ball hit Carter Miller in the foot and rolled out of bounds. So Charge Bethany with the turnover, although at least this one does not lead to a Central Noble runout. And we're going to get, we've got some blood showing up on Jaden Schleybaugh, so the Bruins have gone to the bench twice for quasi-medical purposes in the first 2:36, which is not how Daniel Mass drew up this game. Drew Plyatt brings the ball across the timeline for Central Noble, goes over to the right side wing, Esijan back to Plyatt, bounce pass underneath the guard. Bontrager goes down to pick him up, then he comes back out to meet Plyatt, who runs in for the layup. Plyatt with his first points of the night. Central Noble has already had 4 players score in less than 3 minutes. Miller gives the ball back to Chupp off the inbound pass. Tyson's got to get the ball across the timeline and pronto. Miller throws it ahead to Lind, who is right up against the sideline on the left side. Back out to Miller. Bontrager left side corner 3. Front iron no good. Rebound taken by guard. He was on the right side block down there for the Bruins. They go underneath on the other end. Esijan runs under the goal. Lind gets the layup of the missed shot, and the pass is over the head of Bontrager. 4 turnovers already for Bethany in the first 3.5 minutes. Top of the circle, this is Andrews backing out. Right side wing, Esijan's got the basketball, and Plyatt will back it out into the center jump circle for Central Noble. Central Noble turned the ball over on their first possession. Then they scored on their second as Bontrager gets the steal. He's going to run out, give the ball to Chupp, who's double-teamed left side block. Lind left slot has the ball, thinks about it, puts it on the floor. Miller drives from the right side wing, and we've got a whistle down there in the corner. Timeout Bethany with 4:04 to go in the first period. It's been error 4:04. Offense not exactly found for head coach Daniel Mast. And he is going to try to reinstall some software during this 30-second break. It is Central Noble 11, Bethany Christian 5. You're watching on BruinsVision. Again, coming up later this week, Bethany's girls are in action Friday night and hopefully Saturday night at the 1A sectional in Fort Wayne. They take on host Blackhawk Christian at 6 o'clock on Friday night. Then they will play Elkhart Christian, Lakewood Park, or Hamilton. The winner of that game gets ECA, LPCS, or Hamilton at 7:30 on Saturday. Central Noble hosts the 2A sectional that it is in. It will take on Prairie Heights on Tuesday night at 7:30. Winner plays Eastside on Friday at 7:30. Winner of that plays one of the other teams from the top half of that bracket, and that is Saturday night over in Albion. Off the Bruin turnover, it is Central Noble basketball as Bethany goes. I thought Bethany was going to go back to its starting lineup, but I still see Reinhardt over there on the bench, and I don't see Schleybaugh on the floor either. 3-point try from guard is good. And so if the Bruins are down a couple of starters right now, and they're down 14-5, that is very much not the way you want this game to start. Here's Hostetler in the very front of the backcourt. Chupp throws the ball up to Bontrager, left side wing. Jesse goes baseline, out into the corner. They skip it back to Chupp. Here's Lind, left side wing. Bontrager, left side corner 3. That one's good. Bontrager dials long distance for the first time tonight. Do kids even dial long distance anymore? I feel like everything is 10-digit dialing on our cell phones. Runner in the lane from Esijan, no good. He ran into Hostetler, who corrals the rebound. Now the starters come back to the table to check in for the Bruins. They'll report their numbers to Renee Yoder, the Minister of Soul and Secretary of the Brotherhood, and we've got a couple of Central Noble players ready to check in on the next dead ball as well. Bontrager top of the circle, over to Lind in the corner. Hostetler in the free throw circle, turns and fires from 17. Back iron, no good. Lind in there at 5'10", but the rebound goes to Sam Esijan, who's 8 inches taller. Backing out Central Noble on the other end. 3-point try from guard off far side of iron. Carter Miller at 5'10", all alone for the board. Bruins as badly as they have fallen. They've trailed by as many as 9 in the first quarter. And they could trim that deficit to 3 or 4 points here with the score on this possession. Hostetler handoff in the circle to Carter Miller. Miller dribbling in his right hand, got the ball in his right hand against the defender on his left side. Hostetler handoff to Linden, he traveled. 6 Bruin giveaways in the first 5:35. As Central Noble will put a trio of subs into the ball game. I see Reddick Zolman, number 24. I see Landon Weiss, number 3. And I've got, let's see, Lemon was out there originally. Then we've got Spencer Adams, who came in along with, that would leave guard number 33, also on the floor from the original lineup. Schleybaugh back in along with Reinhardt for the Bruins as Central Noble works the ball out and around the perimeter. Into the left side corner, there is a drive running into Bontrager as the pass comes out to guard. Guard at the top of the circle working against Hostetler, who is a big dude in more ways than one on defense. Going around him, though, is Guard. Guard lays it in, and Central Noble leads by 8. Remember when I was saying the Bruins could get it to 3 or 4 on their last possession? Well, they didn't, and now it's a 3-score game. Hostetler has the ball knocked away from Guard, who got by Guard. He got more than he bargained for, and Central Noble will be down some guarding power as Reinhardt has come back out of the game for the Bruins. I see Luke Yordy checking in, getting his first action of the night by far earlier than usual. Yordy has only played this is Bethany's 18th game, and it's just Yordy's 10th appearance. He's averaging 1.3 points a game. This is Chupp down the left side of the lane, turns around and fires and scores. 5 points in the first quarter for Tyson Chupp. That's half the Bruins scoring. Lemon fires a 3 on the other end. That's off the far side of the iron. Offensive board kept alive by Spencer Adams with 90 seconds to go in a quarter. Pass over to the right side wing to Reddick Zolman. Weiss up high to the top of the circle. Zolman 3, back rim, no good. Rebound taken by Chupp, who's going to run the right to the left side sideline. Bontrager's behind him. This is Chupp in the free throw circle. Stops and pops from 14 feet and shot at about 12. Rebound is taken by Asijan. Coming into the lane is Zolman. Back out Lemon. Underneath to Asijan, who's 6'6" and runs into a couple of defenders. Left side wing 3 from Lemon. Back iron, no good. Rebound Chupp. 1 minute to go, first quarter, that has seen the Bruins attempting to recombobulate themselves with various degrees of success. Chupp's going to dribble in the center jump circle. It's Bethany basketball to start the second quarter. I should make that note. So if Bethany can run out the first period, they will effectively go 2 for 1 here. You know how I love that. Bontrager, who has played almost the entire first quarter, comes back in the center jump circle. Schleybaugh gives the ball back to Chupp with 27 to go. Schleybaugh's got it back. Chupp's in the center jump circle. They're playing keep away. Bontrager back to Chupp. This is not as much fun as watching Mariah Stoltzfus and Zoe Willems do it on the girls' side, but if it works, who am I to complain? Chupp in the center jump circle. He's defended out there by Zolman. Gives the ball to Bontrager, left side wing. Chupp's got it back. Comes into the free throw circle. Schleybaugh, right side 3. Off the iron to the left. Yordy in on the rebound, but it's taken by Weiss. Central Noble comes into the forecourt. Schleybaugh knocks the ball out of bounds, and Central Noble's got 0.6 of a second to shoot. So triggering the inbound play will be Weiss. They've pretty much got a catch and shoot. Lob comes underneath. The Season got a hand on it, but Hostetler did a good job of boxing out the entry pass, and the Cougars unable to get the shot off. At the end of one period of play, Central Noble 16, Bethany Christian 10. You're watching Bruins Vision, and goodness, I've got papers all over the place already. So, unofficial first quarter scoring has Tyson Chupp and Isaiah Guard leading all players with 5. Guard's got 2 personals already, so he's on the bench for Central Noble. The Bruins did not commit a foul in the first quarter. Somehow I find that hard to believe, but it's what my book says, and it's what the scoreboard says as well. So we'll get ready for the second stanza, and it's Bethany Christian basketball here on Bruins Vision. Again, you're at that 6-point margin where, 3 or 4 points one way or the other makes a big difference. And, of course, you can get 3 points one way or the other on any given possession. Coming out of the quarter break, Central Noble's back on the floor already. Vice, Adams, both off the bench. I mean, in the sense they didn't start, they have played. Sam Asijan, Connor Lemon, and Reddick Zolman. Zolman, the 6'1 sophomore. Bruins a little bit later in breaking the huddle, and I feel like the kitchen sink's getting thrown here. Schleybaugh and Yordy on the floor. Kyle Boyer sees his first action, along with Chupp and Bontrager. Talking about how Luke Yordy's making his 10th appearance in Bethany's 18th game. Kyle Boyer has only played in 7 of the first 17. Chupp gives the ball to Schleybaugh. Bontrager's in the corner. Bontrager brings it back up top, and he just about started running before he got the ball moving. Boyer on the elbow, looks at Chupp, has to put the ball on the floor instead. Back out to Yordy. Here's Boyer in the free throw circle. Thought about the handoff to Bontrager. Instead, he runs a play-action fake underneath the Schleybaugh for the layup. Nice body control from the 5'9 guard with the biscuit in the basket for the first time tonight. That is a golden point for the Bruins. I should say it's Schleybaug's first field goal. He has had a couple of free throws. Rebound of the three-point try is grabbed by Schleybaugh, and he just about gave it away in getting the ball out to Yordy. Here is Chupp over to the right side wing. Bontrager back to the top of the circle and Boyer. Ball squirts away. It's grabbed by Asijan on the seat of his pants. Out in front to Lemon for the lay-in. Bethany was able to get back in this game when they cut down on the turnovers late in the first quarter, and, well, that was a turnover, and you saw the end result. 7 Bethany turnovers. It doesn't have to be on the fast break to get the layup, but this is going to be, that's 8 Bethany turnovers, and ball's on the floor again. Okay, so it sure looked like it was going to be a 4th time that Central Noble had scored on the giveaway. Chupp stops and pops at the foul line. He's got 7. Bethany back within 4 at 18-14. 6:25 to go, second quarter. Couple Central Noble subs sitting at the table and waiting to come in. Ball goes into the corner. That's Zolman underneath. Asijan is fouled as Boyer came in and ran into him. Boyer's first personal, Bethany's first personal. And we're going to see some more Bruin substitutions. Carter Miller and James Lynn back in for Bethany. Central Noble goes to the bench for Jackson Andrews and Drew Plyatt. Plyatt triggers the inbound into the corner for Asijan. This is Adams on the right side wing. Running into the lane and laying it up is Plyatt. He missed the shot. Lind takes the rebound, and he is hacked from in front. Give the foul to Plyatt, his first, team's third. Just 4 fouls in this game, 3 of them on the Cougars. And the Bruins, with a 4-point play, could tie the game on this possession. Of course, 4-point play is rare. 4 on the uniform number is very common for the Bruins. That's Tyson Chupp's number, and he brings the ball up the floor. Carter Miller, left side wing, gives the ball back to Chupp. Coming out to meet him on the right side wing is Andrews. This is Boyer holding at the top of the circle. Handoff Miller, who runs into his numerical counterpart. Pass goes over into the corner to Schleybaugh. He's at the free throw circle. Turned back to his right. Found he was almost on top of Kyle Boyer, who stripped for the 3rd time in this quarter as Asijan with the steal and the run out. Asijan now with 6 points. That's Central Noble's lead is 6. And I do feel like, Kyle Boyer got some literal hands-on experience as a goalkeeper in soccer this year, so he's held on to a few spheres in his day. But Central Noble has taken the ball out of his hands 3 times this quarter. Here's Chupp on the right side of the circle, gets the screen from Boyer, goes underneath to the big man who had the ball knocked away. Never really caught the pass. Now he throws it back out to Schleybaugh. Chupp keeps it in at the timeline. Boyer in the free throw circle. Back to Miller, left side baseline run. They're going to reverse it into the corner and turn it over. Central Noble comes the other way. They've forced 10 turnovers already. Pass goes into the left side corner. 3-pointer on the way. That one is good from Reddick Zolman. Okay, they're going to say that was a 3-pointer. There we go. I have forgotten how to count up here. Schleybaugh's pass over into the right side corner, knocked out of bounds. Lynn couldn't get to it in time as Reinhardt is going to return for the Bruins, and if you are scoring at home for whatever reason, Jacoby Reinhardt must have had blood on his uniform shirt because he's wearing uniform number 21. Inbound pass comes into Reinhardt, who goes swinging gate to Chuck for the lay-in. Tyson with 9 already in the first half. 23-16 the Central Noble lead. And the other thing is that having been out of the game for about 10 of the first 12 minutes, Reinhardt should be pretty fresh. Central Noble goes underneath. The shot up from Zolman was short. Rebound Reinhardt. Here is Schleybaugh giving the ball back to Chupp. Bethany trails 23-16 with 4:02 to go second quarter. Reinhardt to Schleybaugh. He'll drive baseline left side. Stops, pops from the block, and scores. Schleybaugh's got 6. Bruins within 5. But the thing is, with Reinhardt missing 10 of the first 12 minutes, this is still only a 5-point game, as the kick ball will give it back to Central Noble with 3:47 to go in the first half. Jackson Andrews puts the ball in. I'm reasonably certain he's the quarterback on the football team, because I'm reasonably certain I recognize that name, and I'm not sure why I would otherwise, as Adams drives to the goal and scores for Central Noble. That is Adams' first point of the game. The lead back out to 7 points. Here is Schleybaugh in the left side corner being defended by Adams. Miller top of the circle. Back to Reinhardt on the wing. Jacoby crosses over behind his back, picks the ball up. Out to Lind, who's still in the game. Schleybaugh over on the left side wing. Goes to his left around the defender. Now spins around Adams. Goes back to Reinhardt on the left side wing. He goes to the floor and ties it up, and he switched. I can't say he switched pivot feet because he wasn't. His feet were not the body part on the floor, but he switched, pivot portions of his rear end or something. Bethany turnover. It's a traveling violation is what it is. Because, if you wanted analysis of Jacoby Reinhardt's rear end, you came to the right place, apparently. Hostetler back into the game for the Bruins. Miller gets a hand on the ball, knocks it out of bounds. Central Noble will keep possession, as we'll see Braden Kircher coming in off the bench, number 30. As the Bruins, I think, had 13 turnovers Thursday night in that loss to Elkhart Christian. That was a game where the average length of a possession was much higher, which means there were fewer possessions to have turnovers on. As we're going to get a foul on Schleybaugh before the shot. His first, team's second. But another fresh possession for Central Noble. Anyway, I've already got Bethany at 11 turnovers tonight, was where I was going with that. If 13 felt like a lot, what's 11 in the first half? Pass comes over to the right side elbow. We've got they go underneath and run into somebody. And let's see. Carter Miller called for the personal. His first, team's third. Spencer Adams goes to the foul line. It's the first time Central Noble has shot free throws tonight. First free throw up and good. Bruins were 2 out of 2 at the stripe in the first quarter. That was Jaden Schleybaugh doing business. Second free throw from Adams is good. And that was significant because that's when Reinhardt left the game with something going on somewhere. He got hit with a basketball on about Bethany's second possession of the game. Ball skips back to Miller on the left side wing. Defender falls down. Miller goes up and misses the shot. Rebound to Braden Kirchner. Coming up the floor is Spencer Adams and Central Noble. Remember how I said Bethany had done well to keep the deficit to 5 a moment ago? That 3 would have made the margin 12 as the rebound is tipped to Reinhardt. Bruins need to make some effort in getting on the scoreboard here before halftime. Miller in the corner. Comes back to the left side wing, and he didn't bring the pivot foot with him. Gives the ball back to Central Noble with 2 minutes and 1 second to go, second quarter. Plyatt comes across the timeline. Handoff goes from Adams to Jackson Andrews, who, if memory serves, is not only the football team's quarterback, but I think he's number 12 there too. Spencer Adams has the ball left side wing. They go underneath, and the shot is up from Masijian. He's got 8 on the assist from Braden Kirchner. Cougars 29, Bruins 18. Central Noble on a 6-0 run. That pushes the lead to double figures. Miller in the corner for the Bruins with 81 seconds left in the first half. Shupp runs into the lane. Free throw line jumper. Back iron, no good. Just about bounced in through the front rim as well, but, the rim kept it out. That's kind of why the rim is there. Back out to Adams on the left side wing. Central Noble can push the lead to 13 or 14 with a score here. They dribble it back to the left side. This is Plyatt into the lane. Ball's knocked away. Here's Shupp coming up the floor. This is Reinhardt wearing the wrong uniform number, and he's going to the line for the blocking foul. As if you were just joining us, I think Reinhardt got blood on his uniform in the first quarter. Has to change uniform numbers. And Asijan picks up his first personal, team foul number 4. Reinhardt, a good free throw shooter, not, Tyson Shupp level, but 76% on the season. First free throw good. First points of the night for Reinhardt. As we'll see Connor Lemon checks in, also Reddick Zolman back in the game. Second free throw on the way from Reinhardt, who also appears to have something up his nose. I mean that in the sense that that's usually how you stop bleeding coming out of your nose. Not that, I don't want to insinuate that Jacoby gets interested in things and puts them in his nostrils. That'd be weird. 29-19, Central Noble by 10. Spinning into the lane, jump shot rejected by Reinhardt regardless of status of nose. Hostetler gets rebound. Outlet pass through the hands of Reinhardt. Going behind the back is Lemon. And Central Noble will come back up the floor. 28 seconds to go, first half. The Bruins come into this game averaging about 49 points a game. 19 points the first half, a little below that, but not much. They just haven't been able to stop the Cougars on the other end. And quite frankly, the Bruins have been very effective when they've gotten shots off. As the ball comes over here to the left side, this is Asijan holding with 3 seconds to go. He'll take it to the rack himself, kicks it out into the corner. Jumper from inside the three-point line from Adams is no good. And we've got the end of the first half as the Central Noble lead is 29-16. So we'll do some accounting here, as we always do, and take a look at our unofficial halftime scoring. For Central Noble, I think that even adds up to the right number. Spencer Adams has 4 points. Drew Plyatt has 2. Sam Asijan with 8. Jackson Andrews with 4. Connor Lemon with 5. Reddick Zolman with 3. Isaiah Gard with 5. But the thing is, Gard missed a lot of that game with foul trouble. He's going to come back with 2 points, or with just 2 fouls, to start the third quarter. As the Bruins will counter on the score sheet with 9 for Tyson Shupp, 3 for Jesse Bontrager, 6 for Jaden Schleybaugh, and 1 for Jacoby Reinhardt. The good news is, we talked about this as a team that can't be a one-man show with Tyson Shupp, even though he's the first name that jumps out, and he's usually going to be the protagonist of the Bruin offense. But Jaden Schleybaugh got picked up the slack with 6. The issue is that against a team as deep as Central Noble, I also don't think the Bruin offense can be a two-man show. And so far, it's Shupp 9, Schleybaugh 6, rest of team 4. 16 minutes down, 16 minutes to go. Central Noble 29, Bethany Christian 19. We'll be back with the third quarter, the second half. All of that fun stuff coming your way in about 8 Welcome back to Boulder Court on the campus of Bethany Christian Schools in Goshen, Indiana. It is halftime, and the Bruins need to snap out of an offensive funk as they trail Central Noble 29-19. Tyson Shupp's halfway to his season scoring average. Jaden Schleybaugh is most of the way to his, but the rest of the team with just 4 points and 11 giveaways. And Central Noble has, I'm not keeping track of points off turnovers up here, but I would be stunned if they have scored fewer than 10 points off of those 11 turnovers, because I know that at least 3 of them have been layups the other end, and that'd be 6 right there. On the Central Noble side of the ledger, they're led by 8 points for Sam Asijan, 5 apiece from Connor Lemon and Isaiah Gard. As we get ready to start the third quarter, it'll be Central Noble basketball here to start the odd-numbered periods. The Cougars won the tip, and we haven't had an alternating possession throw-in yet this game. Bruins will go back to their starting lineup, although it looks a little bit funny in the sense that if you're following along with uniform numbers, Jacoby Reinhardt is wearing uniform number 21. I am assuming that means he got blood on the 32 jersey earlier in the first quarter. Central Noble basketball, as the Cougars are going to come out, I believe, with their original starters. Jackson Andrews down here and shoots over Carter Miller. Misses the shot, has the rebound stripped away from him. Cougars keep the ball alive. It's Gard in the corner, coming back the other side. Drew Plyatt into the lane. Back out to Asijan at the top of the circle, who handles the ball real well for a 6'6" man, as the Cougars have the basketball in the hands of Plyatt. This is Lemon over on the left side wing. Lemon back to the top of the circle, gets the ball back, goes underneath the guard, who works against Hostetler. Guard puts the ball on the floor. 2 dribbles later, he shoots in the lane, misses off to the right. Rebound to Hostetler, and Shupp comes up the floor. Shupp came into the game, what is he, number 8 in school history with 887 career points. 9 points thus far, gets him up to 896. 4 for 900. Make it 1. Tyson Shupp drains his second 3 of the night. Give Carter Miller the assist. As second 3 of the night also ties him with Joel Letterman for the third most 3-point field goals in a Bruin uniform. I believe that was Plyatt going underneath and scoring for Central Noble, so they lead back to 9, 31-22. Shupp's got now 12 in the evening. He skips the ball to Carter Miller, whose 3 was just barely a 3. His toe was micrometers away from the 3-point line. And he missed it on the short side anyway, so it was just barely got to the goal. Central Noble basketball with 6:30 to go in the third period. As Plyatt's going to walk the ball up the floor. Comes over to the left side. Schleybaugh also left with some blood issues in the first quarter. So the Bruins down 2 of their starters for a decent chunk of change, as Andrews hits the turnaround shot in the lane. Andrews with 4 points now. Central Noble by 11, 33-22. This is Hostetler in the free throw line. He's going to hand the ball off to Schleybaugh, who cuts to the elbow. Reinhardt's in the corner. He's going to stop on the left side wing just inside the arc. Miller right side wing back to Reinhardt. Shupp's in the corner. You got to think they want to get him the basketball, but you also got to think Central Noble knows that. Schleybaugh throws up a pair from the free throw line. He thought he got it. Well, no, he did get hit on the elbow. We saw the arm move. He missed the shot. Hostetler missed the second chance opportunity. Now the run to the goal leads to a Central Noble layup, and that's a 4-point swing. Drew Pleat with the layup. He's got 6 tonight. And it's 35-22. Cougars out in front. Hostetler at the elbow. Hands the ball off to Carter Miller. This is Reinhardt, left side wing 3. That's on the short side of the iron. Hostetler is in there for the rebound, but he's double teamed and he's got no help. Pleat out of help to head to Asijan, and he lays it in, and Bethany needs a timeout badly. Bruins have been outscored 8-3 to start the third quarter. They are down by a game-high 15 points. And with 5:12 to go in the third, timeout on the floor. This is a full timeout. Of course, we'll be back here on BruinsVision for every Bethany home game the rest of the way. That's 3 of them. Tuesday night, February 7th, the Bruins take on Fairfield. Tuesday night, February 14th, the Bruins take on Jimtown. So on Friday the 24th is senior night as the Bruins take on Fremont. Also, a couple of road games coming up the rest of the way. That would be a couple of Friday nights in there as well. At Lakewood Park on February the 10th. At Trinity Greenlawn on February the 17th. That Trinity Greenlawn game, as it stands, would give the Bruins the chance for an outright conference championship. They can clinch a share of the conference championship on a week from Thursday on the 9th if the Career Academy of South Bend beats Lakeland Christian. Both of those schools would be 3-2. The worst Bethany can do would be 3-2. As Jesse Bontrager is going to check in for the Bruins. Trying to see who came out of that lineup. I'm thinking it was Miller. And Chupp's going to bring the ball up the floor. Bruins have one score in the third quarter in 3 minutes. Bontrager's trapped in the corner. Going to get the ball out to Chupp. He crossed into double figures with that three. I was starting to say he's at 899 points for his career, which is 1 away from 900 for those of you that don't like math, and 7 away from Larry Krylo for 7th place in school history. Both of those very much on the table. Bontrager, left side wing jumper way off. Rebound taken by Asijan. Central Noble out in transition. And the thing about their 8 points in the third quarter is they've pretty much all been layups. Here's Asijan downhill. He missed the shot. Reinhardt, wearing Jason Marquis, old number 21, takes the rebound. They're going to go over to the right side wing. Here are the Bruins. This is Schleball along the baseline. Reinhardt left slot 3, left it short. Bontrager in for the rebound. And if we were in the business of nicknaming players, Bontrager would have to be like Flash, because he leads the team. And wait, how did he get here from where he was 2 seconds ago? Of course, there's an alternative option, which is just that your announcer is not paying a whole lot of attention, and I've been accused of that too. Bontrager's all over the place. Here's Guard, the big man out on the perimeter. His three-point shot is on the short side. Chupp gets the rebound for the Bruins. Ball is knocked away from him. He taps it out like we're playing bocce, and it goes to Schleball. They skip it to Reinhardt in the right side wing. Bontrager's in the corner. Holds the ball on the left side, gets to Hostetler in the free throw circle. Reinhardt down the lane, right-handed layup was altered and we'll say blocked by Asijan. Asijan comes the other way. They go right side corner. Three-pointer on the way from Lemon. He missed it off the far side of the iron. Offensive rebound goes to Pleat. He lays it in. That is 8 for him, and it is 10-3 Central Noble in the quarter. It's a 17-point margin. Hostetler in the free throw circle. Gets the ball out to Schleball on the left side wing. Bontrager on the right side of the circle. Gets the ball down to Reinhardt in the corner. Hostetler in the free throw circle. Dribbles to his left. He'll hand off to Chupp. Tyson has the ball knocked away, and they're going to say that Andrews got more than the ball. Jackson's first personal, team foul number 1 on Central Noble. We're going to get Reddick Zolman into the game for the Cougars. James Lind and Carter Miller checking in for Bethany. Bruins need to do some scoring and some stopping to keep this game from getting away from them. Lind outside left elbow with the basketball. Gives the ball to Chupp off the screen. Tyson runs it down right side wing. Comes into the free throw circle. Back out to Lind. In the corner, Reinhardt. Bontrager, top of the circle. Looks to his left, goes back to his right, and Lind. Here is Reinhardt in the corner with 2:36 left in the third. Bruins, if you're just joining us, have 3 points in the last 5.5 minutes. Chupp in the lane, head stripped as he goes up, picks the ball up off the floor. He's stripped again, and they say he was fouled. Central Noble foul reports to the table on Reddick Zolman. His first, team second. And it'll be a fresh possession for the Bruins with 2:25 to go. It should also be noted that when these teams played last year, Central Noble won by 30. So it's not like the Bruins, who were not a bad ball club last year, were unaware of what they were getting here, although I hoped this would be a little bit closer in the sense that last year's leading scorer, Connor Asijan, is now playing in the Big Ten and not the Northeast Corner Conference. Miller on the inbound pass. Reinhardt dumps the ball off to Chupp. Tyson goes baseline, comes in on the hook shot, misses the shot, tries for the rebound, and guard just outreaches him. Asijan comes up the left side sideline, whips the ball to the right side wing. Pleat has it, puts it on the floor, twists back and dumps the ball to Spencer Adams, who checked in a moment ago. Ball goes out into the corner, and the shot is up and good. That's a 2-point field goal for Pleat. He is into double figures. He's got 8 of their 12 since halftime, and the Central Noble lead is 19. Chupp out on the right side wing has the basketball, comes through the lane, spins, lays it up, and scores. The ball, not the lane. Tyson's got 14. That gives him 901 for his career. Needs 99 for 1,000. On the other end of the floor, Central Noble is just a well-oiled machine tonight. That's Reddick Zolman with a triple. It is 15-5 Central Noble here in the third, and it is 44-24. Timeout Bruins with 1:35 to go. 30-second timeout called by Bethany, so they'll have 2 to go the rest of the way. Of course, the beginning of February means it's also sectional time here in Indiana for the girls' basketball teams. And that action comes up later this week as well. Central Noble hosts Prairie Heights in a quarterfinal on Tuesday. Winner of that game gets Eastside on Friday. Then who are the other 3 teams in that sectional? I bet I can tell you. Churubusco, Westview, and Fremont would be the opposition for the Saturday championship game. Central Noble's 21-2 on the girls' side. Eastside 15-8. Rest of that sectional below 500. On the Bethany side, the Bruins will take on Blackhawk, far and away the 2 favorites, meeting in the semifinal round Friday night at 6 o'clock over in Fort Wayne. Then it will be Elkhart Christian, Lakewood Park, or Hamilton awaiting in the Saturday night final. That's sectional action this week. Support your favorite local high school as they make a run through the state tournament. Off the steal, there's a slam for Isaiah Guard. And things have gone from bad to worse for the Bruins. 46-24, the Central Noble lead. Here is Carter Miller going down low for Hostetler. He shoots over the defender, and Hostetler is in the book for the first time tonight. He has no fouls. Then a steal and a score. And we've got a delay of game warning that's going to be issued to the Bruins. I think they took the ball out of the net on Schlebaugh's bucket. So, delay of game warnings are some of those things that only matter if you pick up 2 of them. Then you start getting into fun with technical fouls. So the Bruins back within 18, but I think the songbooks are getting awfully close to being passed in here. Here's a run into the lane and a score from Reddick Zolman. Central Noble has put up 19 points in the third quarter alone. The Bruins now in a more respectable 9 after their strip and score on the other end. Here's Lind, left side wing, going into the corner for Carter Miller. That 3-pointer is up and short. Rebound pretty well uncontested for Drew Pleat. He comes into the lane. Lind knocks the ball away. Carter Miller up the left sideline. Miller into the lane, out to Bontrager, right side wing. Flash looks into the corner. Carter Miller with the jumper. Shot is up and good. Carter Miller into the book for the first time tonight. Bruins on 31 points here this evening. There was another score in there that looks like never made it into my book. 48-30, the Central Noble advantage as they hold for the final shot of the quarter. 2 seconds left. In the lane, the runner is up and off the iron twice and out from Drew Pleat. He has 8 in the third quarter to lead all scorers. Central Noble outscores Bethany 19-10 and will go to the fourth. Central Noble leading this one by 18. 24 minutes down, 8 to go as the fourth quarter is coming up. You're watching BruinsVision. It'll be Bethany basketball to start the fourth quarter, but the Bruins, well, if Daniel Mast has a miracle up his sleeve, now would be a great time for it. I say that it's a non-conference game on a Tuesday night in January, so there will be bigger games than this one, but it's been a long time since the team's been down by 18 points. Bethany's going to come out on the floor with one more run for the starters. Schupp, Schleybaugh, Miller, Reinhardt, Hostetler on the floor. Central Noble with Landon Weiss. We've got Carter Lemon. We've got Reddick Zolman. We've got Braden Kirchner and Spencer Adams. Reinhardt, left side wing, gets the ball to Bontrager in the left, or to Miller rather, left side corner. Bontrager's not on the floor. Schupp's out on the left side wing. Here's Reinhardt looking, driving, and backing out. Pass to Jaden Schleybaugh is over his head and into the student section, and that's what we call an unforced error. As the Bruins have done a good job of cutting down on the turnovers in the second half. And they had 11 of those in the first half, or they had 12 of those, in the first half. And they've had 3 here in the second. But Central Noble has still been able to score fairly well at will. 19 points in the third quarter. If you run that out to a whole game, would be 76. And that would be their second highest output of the season, with the only one above that coming last week. Shot from Zolman, no good. Offensive rebound for Kirchner. He goes up in the air and misses, and Reinhardt comes down with the board. Schupp crosses over to his left hand. Schleybaugh 3 from the left side corner. Hits the rim 4 times and falls off. Zolman gets the rebound. Lemon's going to bring the ball up the floor for Central Noble. They've got an 18-point lead, but they haven't scored in more than a minute. That'll change as they go baseline. Zolman now with 10 points. Cougars by 20. And Schleybaugh is going to hold up high on the right side. Reinhardt gives the ball back to Schupp. Left side wing 3, rattles out. Reinhardt in for the offensive rebound, back to Miller. They'll go around to Schleybaugh. Schupp's got the ball again, left side wing. Drives to the lane, puts up the runner. Misses it off front iron, which is off to the right. Rebound taken away by Zolman. It's picked up in the forecourt. The loose ball is by Kirchner. They're going to come back out to Lemon and reset. Good job by the Bruins to pursue that rebound, but all of a sudden they ended up 60 feet from their own goal. Pass goes into the corner. Central Noble's going to bring the ball out with Lemon on the right side wing. Lemon comes into the lane. Back out to the top of the circle and Weiss. This is Zolman going left side wing, splitting defenders, and has his shot turned away by Reinhardt. Schupp comes up the floor. 5:40 to go in the fourth quarter, so I don't think it's out of the question that in a 20-point game we start seeing some bench run here for the Bruins, although they don't play again for another 8 days. So there's also probably value to keeping people fresh. Hostetler goes up with the shot. It's way too strong. Schupp tips the rebound to himself and throws the ball away. As guard's going to come onto the floor. Esijan and Andrews also in for Central Noble. So they're going to check in, they're going to bring some starters back into the game with 5:23 to go. And Central Noble has a timeout. It's not like it can turn that in for cash at the end of the game. John Bodie's going to use it here with 5:23 to go in regulation. Speaking of back in action, the Bruins are idle this weekend for a couple of reasons. One is girls sectional play, trying to keep Friday and Saturday night clear for what the Bruins hope will be their third sectional title in school history, be their first since 2018. The other is the Mennonite Educators Conference is this weekend, and there's just a lot of Bethany personnel that will be at that, and they're trying to keep their schedule free of, extraneous things like basketball. As much as we think of basketball as an essential function in the state of Indiana, and that's not wrong, well, I would say to describe it that way. It is an educational institution first and foremost, and that's significant professional development for the folks that make their living in the world of education. So anyway, Bethany's back in action Tuesday night next week. That is the 7th against Fairfield, which is another NECC team that's going to come in here and be favored by a decent margin. We'll have that game for you on BruinsVision, with the JV starting at 6. Varsity follows that at about 7:25. Carter Miller on the inbound play gives the ball to Reinhardt. Reinhardt holds left of the circle. Lemon tried to knock it away. The ball, not the circle. They go underneath the Hostetler. His shot up and no good. Reinhardt on the multi-tap rebound. His shot unsuccessful. Hostetler a third time no good, but he gets his own chance. Hook shot on the way and he missed. Guard gets the rebound. So the good news for Bethany was they had 4 shots on that possession. The bad news is none of them went in. Central Noble's out in the corner on the other end. This is Jackson Andrews coming down from the right side elbow, turns, fires, and misses off front iron. Guard is just longer than everybody else, but the rebound is tapped to Chupp, who will come into the forecourt. Chupp gives the ball over to Reinhardt on the left side wing. Tyson's got 14, which leads the Bruins. Actually, it leads all scorers at the moment. Schleybaugh, left elbow jumper, got nothing but the fringes of the net. And I do not mean that it went through the rim to get there. 50-30, the Central Noble advantage. So the Bruins have held Central Noble to 2 points in this quarter, but they also haven't scored themselves, which is the ingredient you need for a comeback. As the Bruins got knocked out of sorts in the first 2 minutes and 36 seconds into the game, Bethany had already made 2 subs for blood reasons. Jacoby Reinhardt and Jaden Schleybaugh out of the ball game as Chupp knocks the ball free and Carter Miller comes into the forecourt. Pass is going to go to Schleybaugh. Here is Chupp from the right side wing, and when Tyson Chupp is missing a wide-open three-pointer from the right side, Tyson is a 42% shooter from three-point range this year. If he is missing that shot, we can safely say that things are not going well. Right side wing, ball in the hands of Jackson Andrews for Central Noble. Here's Lemon's three from left of the circle, and it's good. Connor Lemon has not been sour tonight. He's dialed long distance twice, and he's got 8 points. Central Noble sitting on 53 right now. Hostetler in the free throw circle. Handoff. He looks to hand off to Miller. He gives the ball to Reinhardt. Schleybaugh in the corner. Drives baseline. He's got Chupp who steps outside. Had a chance at a three if he would have gone up for it. Reinhardt gives the ball to Miller, who is standing in the same spot that Chupp was. Hostetler, left side elbow, working to his right. Handoff to Reinhardt. Down the lane. Jumper good. Reinhardt only with 3 points tonight. He's averaging 9.6 a game. I don't believe you need me to tell you that is not the scoring output the Bruins had in mind for their sophomore tonight, but I just did. Reinhardt did get the rebound there. Here's Chupp coming across the timeline. Up ahead to Schleybaugh, back out to Reinhardt. Chupp right of the circle, takes 2 dribbles. Up with the jumper, and it's well short. Rebound taken by Reddick Zolman, and Central Noble's going to come back into the forecourt with 2:39 to go in the fourth. Timeout, Central Noble, as this is probably going to facilitate some substitutions, well, definitely some Bethany subs. Hey, Central Noble's 2 timeouts in this quarter have both come with a 5, a 2, and a 3 on the clock. It's just it was 5:23, and now it's 2:35. We move the 5 from the front end to the back. Also, the score right now is composed entirely of 2s, 5s, and 3s. I'm going to write that down, and we will share that with Renee Yoder, Secretary of the Brotherhood, official bookkeeper, when the game comes to an end, because Renee is a math teacher by trade, and we like having fun with numbers. Bruins need to break their huddle, and they'll do that. They've got Jacoby Reinhardt and Kyle Boyer up front. Chupp and Schleybaugh on the floor. Also, Jesse Bontrager, who we decided earlier in the game would also be known as Flash if we were making up nicknames for people. Shares that nickname with Ray Bullock, the longtime women's track coach at Taylor University in Upland. Also, I believe an art professor was Flash Bullock. But anyway, we've reached the point where it's a 21-point game, and we're telling stories as Chupp knocks the ball away from a Sejan in the lane. Boyer picks it up. Chupp's going to come up the floor, and I think we are well into garbage time as there's 2:10 to go in regulation. Chupp, I just looked up, and we're down to the final 2 minutes. Chupp trying to work to his left, back out to Reinhardt. Bontrager into the corner for Chupp. Back underneath for Boyer, who's fouled by guard. One thing this game has not had a surplus of is personal fouls. The Bruins committed 3. All of them came in the first half. Central Noble has 7, 4 in the first half and 3 in the second. And I can think of one instance I remember. I thought that there could have been a foul. But it's not like they've been letting loads and loads of contact go as the deflection comes out to Reinhardt, who scores. He's got all 4 Bruin points in the fourth quarter, as Central Noble has outscored the Bruins 24 13 since the intermission. Now we're going to get a 30-second timeout taken by Central Noble. 53-34 with 96 seconds to go. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not sure what there is to discuss with the score at this magnitude. But John Bodie's a coach, so I'm sure he'll find something. Probably just, stay fundamental with the basketball, and a 19-point lead is not a license to do things you're going to regret. There really aren't licenses to do things you're going to regret. That's why you regret doing things is that you shouldn't have. As the Bruins come out of the timeout with their same arsenal of personnel on the floor. Central Noble ball on the right side sideline as Sejan puts the ball into Jackson Andrews. Andrews walks it across the timeline. They go right side wing to Connor Lemon. Down along the baseline, passes out. They'll work at left side wing. Andrews gets it back. Here's Pleat in the corner. On the left side wing to Lemon. Guard, left side of the lane. Driving and laying it in from the right side is the Sejan, and I believe he was separated from the basketball. 1:14 to go, fourth quarter. Still Cougar ball. Guard puts the ball out to Pleat on the left side wing. Right side wing. That's Lemon going underneath. Guard, who has been held to 7 points today, goes around Boyer and scores, make it 9. But he's been big, he's 6'4". He's been big for the whole game. He's been especially big in the second half. It was 55-34, which incidentally is 2 Fibonacci numbers. As Bontrager hands off to Chupp, they're going to go underneath to Reinhardt. Kobe puts the ball on the floor, turns around, leaves the shot short, and Central Noble will bring it back to the forecourt. As Sejan gives the ball to Lemon. I was just going to say, it was 29-19, Central Noble at the break. It was the sort of game where you could make the argument that a Bruin run to start the second half gets them right back into it. Instead, you got the Mike Tyson analogy where everybody's got to play until they get punched in the face. Jackson Andrews has the ball over to Lemon on the right side wing. 5 seconds to go in regulation, and you can pass in the songbooks on this one. In a battle of Fibonacci numbers, it's Central Noble 55, Bethany Christian 34. So we'll do our final accounting here as the Bruins muster 4 points in the third quarter. They are outscored 26-15 in the second half. And Central Noble moves to 12-5. The Bruins go to 12-6. For the Central Noble, Spencer Adams finishes with 4 points. Drew Pleat leads the way with 10. Sam Sejan has 10. Jackson Andrews finishes with 6. Connor Lemon put up 8. Reddick Zolman leads the way with 10. Isaiah Guard scores 9. That's 55 for Central Noble, which you get by way of 16 in the first quarter, 29 in the second, 19 in the third, and 55 in the and 7 to get to 55 in the fourth. On the Bruins side of the ledger, Tyson Chupp crosses the 900-point plateau for his career. He's going to stay in 7th place all time. He hopes for stay in 8th place all time. He hopes just one more game. So he comes in now needing 6 points to catch Larry Krylo for 7th. And 22 to catch Tom Lance for 6th. Carter Miller finishes with 2 points. Jesse Bontrager with 3 points and a brand new nickname. Jaden Schlabaugh's got 8. Jacoby Reinhardt finishes with 5. Justin Hostetler with 2. Luke Yordy and James Lind with played but did not score. Bruins 10 points in the first quarter, 9 in the third, 9 in the second, 11 in the third, and 4 in the fourth. A total of 34. So the Bruins dropped to 12-6 on the season. They're going to try to rebound when they welcome Fairfield in after a week off. And I'm just saying that welcoming Fairfield not the team I'd want to welcome for an easy walk in the park in the gym. Walk in the park in the gym, is that a thing? We'll find out next Tuesday. With that, the sands of time have slipped through the hourglass, and we can pass in the songbooks on another BruinsVision telecast. It is Central Noble 55, Bethany Christian 34. And with that comes the end of another BruinsVision telecast. This copyrighted telecast has been brought to you by the authority of Bethany Christian Schools Incorporated. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball. Our Intercontinental Executive Producer and Chief Swahili Officer is Tyson Miller. Head of School, Dr. Tim Lehman. Principal is Hank Willems. Athletic Director is Gary Chupp, and Kevin Miller is the Assistant Athletic Director. Kyle Stockdale is the Director of Technology. The emergency backup table crew is Stella Wilson, Milo Yoder, and Addison Yoder. And the voice of Miss Piggy and Yoda is the same person, Frank Oz. And that concludes our coverage of this evening's festivities. Bethany is idle this weekend. They return to action next Tuesday, February 7th, when they host the Fairfield Falcons, who make the trip up from Benton. We'll have the JV pregame coming your way at 5:57. Varsity follows that, 7:20 or so, right here on BruinsVision.net. Of course, it is January. It's about to be February, which may or may not be a good thing for weather purposes. Who knows what's going to happen with the weather? Stay tuned to BethanyCS.net. Follow Bethany_Bruins on Twitter for the latest updates if schedule changes are necessary. Now, for our entire BruinsVision crew, I'm Tony Miller. Thanks for spending part of your evening with us. Until we meet again, good night, good luck, and as the graphic says,